Good morning, everyone. I'm Steve Post from Motor Racing Network, Wing Nation on Motor Racing Network, and MAV TV as well. We're glad you joined us for a very exciting announcement that Kyle Larson has. And we even have a prop here on the stage, which is really, really cool. So photo opportunities will be coming up in just a little bit on this. But I'd like to introduce who is on the stage now. Of course, you know him. He is the 2014 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Rookie of the Year. He is competing this weekend in both the Xfinity Series and the Sprint Cup Series. Kyle Larson. And alongside of Kyle is the Director of Global Retail Operations for Parker Hannafin stores, for Parker stores. Brad Fisher is with us as well. So with that in mind, Kyle, I'm just going to turn it over to you, and you can tell the folks about this car and what you're doing coming up later this year.
Yeah, so I'm excited to announce that we're going to, or Parker Stores joined on to help in the promotion of my first ever race that I'm going to do for Outlaw Karts. We're going to have it at Cycleland Speedway on September 8th. Cycleland's the track where I got my start in racing. It's kind of been where I felt like I've learned how to race. It's a great track. So it'll be a lot of fun to help with this event with them, and we're going to try and make it, well, it should be the biggest outlaw kart race in the history of that style of racing, with the total purse of over $20,000. That should be the largest in outlaw kart history. August 15th is the last day to register for all the kids out there that want to race. So Parker Store, they've been a long time supporter of me. They were my first sponsor in karts. They started sponsoring me when I was 12 years old, and helped out through the end of my outlaw kart career and the beginning of my sprint car career. And then now we're back together. They were on my truck at Homestead, and they're on my Xfinity car this weekend. So it's nice that they've been willing to help with this race, kind of getting back to where it all started for us, and should be a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to it, and it should be a great event.
As we mentioned, Brad Fisher is alongside. And Brad, for you, Kyle mentioned a long-time relationship. I think this goes back to 2004 right, with Kyle, and yet moving this forward, this has to be a neat opportunity for you to reflect back and to move forward with this new race.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing Kyle driving the Parker Store kart again. We found Kyle in a small track in Knoxville in 2004, and I can't remember the race, but it was a 500cc, and I think you won that race, and then they put you in the back of the 250, and you won that race, so we knew we had something special. So it's really exciting to be part of this and be part of this grassroots type of racing. Parker Stores really feels, this is an important part of what we want to provide back to the racing community, to be part of these local sponsorships, local tracks, and really see this type of racing grow.
You talk about grassroots racing. I'm going to actually ask a question to both of you. Brad, first off, a lot of young Kyle Larsons out there, drivers that want to aspire to be Kyle Larsons, and maybe guys would like talent, guys and gals would like talent. It's going to be fun to watch those kids race at that track. Yeah,
it's going to be exciting. We've got 350 Parker stores around the U.S. They're all independently owned, and they're all making their own sponsorship deals with local tracks and local drivers. So the whole network sees a value, and that's why we're so excited to have Kyle riding the Parker Store kart again, and the whole Parker Store community just really looking forward to this race in September.
And Kyle, you've been racing these karts a little bit. I saw you up in Millbridge a couple of weeks ago doing it. The talent level, the young talent in the sport is absolutely amazing. Just discuss a little bit some of the young talent that you're seeing along the way.
Yeah, Outlaw Karts is, like I mentioned earlier, it's a great tool to teach you how to race, and there's a lot of talent throughout the United States in outlaw kart racing, especially out on the West Coast. So that's kind of the hub for that out there, where I grew up, and around Chico and Red Bluff, where we're going to do the race. And I ran Millbridge a few weeks ago, and Logan Seavey, who I've kind of grown up with, is kind of the man to beat in that stuff, and I finished second to him. So he'll be back at this race, and I'll try and beat him in that one. But like I said, really looking forward to it. This is a kart my buddy Colby Copeland ran at Millbridge a couple weeks ago, but for the Cycleland race, I'm going to be driving a identical kart to the one over there on the picture. We're going to paint it up and look just like that one. So it should be really fun.
Really cool indeed. For a point of reference, we're throwing out phrases like Millbridge. Millbridge is a little track outside of Charlotte. North Carolina, that a lot of the NASCAR community spend Wednesday night racing at, and going out there, and young kids and family members, fathers and sons. So it's really a neat grassroots racing portion of the grassroots where these outlaw carts are really taking hold in North Carolina. Kyle, getting back behind the wheel of a car, one of these carts, and giving back to young folks with this purse of $20,000, which is unheard of, what does that mean to you to be able to step back and give back to the sport and a part of the sport that you love so much?
Yeah, it means a lot. I feel like I'm in a place where a lot of those kids look up to me a lot, and especially coming from the West Coast, all those kids and racing the tracks or growing up racing tracks that they're now racing at. So it means a lot to be able to give back. That's kind of what I've wanted to do for a long time. My dad always told me if I ever make it someday that to try and give back as much as you can, especially to outlaw kart racing. So it's going to be fun. I want to turn this race into an annual event. And it works out good too in the schedule. It's Tuesday, while there's a lot of sprint car racing going on out in California, so it should be a great turnout for fans and all that. So this race was like my favorite race when I was racing outlaw karts back then. It was Tuesday before the Gold Cup, and a lot of the outlaw drivers would be able to come race or watch, and they got rid of the event a handful of years ago. So now to bring it back and get some sprint car drivers to come race. Shane Stewart's going to be running the Ineos kart that I ran at Millbridge. Brad Sweet will be racing, David Gravel, Bud Kading. There's a lot of sprint car drivers that are going to come run too. So it should be a lot of fun for the drivers as well as the fans.
Yeah, for sure. Really is neat to watch these worlds come together with NASCAR drivers, sprint car drivers from the World of Outlaw Tour, and the kids that are going to get a chance to race in the Kyle Larson Outlaw Kart Showcase presented by Parker Stores. Brad, Kyle talks about it in $20,000 purse and everything like that. He's going to be trying to win it, but he's also going to try to win one for you guys a little earlier, like tomorrow here in the Xfinity Series, right?
Yeah, our expectation is win both in the kart showcase, because Kyle's been so dominant all these years, and so that should be a pretty easy $20,000 win for you. And certainly tomorrow, we'd love to see a win, so we're all excited about that as well.
What's it been like, Brad, following Kyle's career, and now not only stepping back with the Outlaw Kart Showcase, but stepping forward with him with Xfinity Series sponsorship? What's that been like for a company to attach themselves to a guy like Kyle?
The thing that I really enjoy about being part of, Kyle's whole racing, the programs he's involved is, like he said, he's given back. He understands the importance of supporting these local types of events, the grassroots, because it's important for the whole sport. And to be a part of the showcase, to be a part of some other events we're talking about, to be a part of Xfinity for Parker Stores, it's got the whole Parker Store network excited and really engaged with the whole racing, all the events he's involved with.
We have the opportunity. Are there any questions for Kyle or for Brad? If you have them, raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you right down here. Tom has one.
Hey, Kyle. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Congratulations on the event. Do you see yourself doing more of this in the future, being somebody like a Tony Stewart who might be a track owner or promoter in addition to a racer?
Yeah, I'd like to. I would. I think Tony does a really, really good job with giving back to grassroots racing, and I think it's a good start to start out in outlaw karts, and eventually I think I would like to maybe promote some sprint car races down the road or whatever. But this will be a good way to get my feet wet and try it out and see how much I enjoy it. And but yeah, like I said, I think Tony does a great job, and I look up to Tony quite a bit. So it'd be fun to kind of be like him and help out open wheel dirt track racing as much as I can.
Do we have other questions? Yep, we have one over on that side. We'll start over there, and then we'll come down here second. We'll go over to the gentleman over on the far side.
Matt Weaver, AutoWeek.com. Kyle, one of the guys that you've raced with frequently with Keith Coons on the sprint and dirt car side, Christopher Bell, is making his Truck Series debut next weekend at Iowa Speedway. What do you see out of him, and do you think he can make that successful transition like you did to these bigger tracks?
Yeah, for sure. Bell is an amazing talent. He's as smooth as it gets in that style of racing. He's very marketable, and Yeah, he'll be in the best truck equipment out there next week. So I know he'll probably have really high expectations. And he got to run a K&N race there a few weeks ago, so he's got some experience at Iowa. He should be good, I think. I'm looking forward to seeing how he runs and cheering for him.
Question down here. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, Rachel Lindsay from the Toledo Blade. You're going to be driving both the Xfinity and the Sprint Cup race this weekend. What kind of balancing act or like time management situation is that for you? Over the course of a weekend, having to be everywhere and do this as well.
Yeah, doing double duty is you're busy for sure, especially your Saturdays. I feel like are the busiest because you do cup qualify or cup practice. Xfinity qualifying, and then back, or you go straight to the driver's meeting, and then straight from the driver's meeting to the Cup car for practice, and then you go and run a 300-mile race or whatever it may be on Saturdays. So those are tough days. It is nice. I'm not doing as much double duty this year as I have in the past, which is pretty relaxing. Now it's nice to look at my calendar and see big gaps in it. But I do enjoy doing double duty, here and there. But yeah, we should hopefully have a good weekend here. Michigan's a track I like a lot. I finished second here a couple years ago in the Xfinity race, and then last year was fast. Both Cup races, so looking forward to it.
Final question. We're going to go over to Reed. Go ahead, Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Speaking of double duty, with Chip running the GT in both the FIA World Endurance and the Tudor Series next year, any chance you might get behind the wheel of that car?
I think they plan on doing the 24-hour with us, same driver lineup probably in them. So yeah, I imagine we'll probably be back at the 24-hour just in a different style car, which is going to be different. I'm already nervous about that because rather than us, the prototype, you always look ahead. I would imagine in these type of cars, you're looking behind for the prototype cars to be coming. So yeah, it'll be a different style of race, but I had fun this year doing the 24 hours, so excited to go back and try it again.
We appreciate your time. There'll be a significant social media presence around Kyle's event. On Twitter, it's Race the Showcase. At Twitter, Race the Showcase. Outlaw Kart Showcase on Facebook, and outlawkartshowcase.com. So if you're looking for some more information, and of course Kyle's folks are around as well. With that, I think we're going to do a couple photos. We have time. We'll get a couple photos, but we thank you for your attention today. And Kyle and Brad, congratulations on the announcement today, and we can't wait to see how that plays out.